Mr. Famine podcast. I am the real Chris Mack. I'm here with Mr. Chino.
What's up?
This is episode 5. Episode 5. How you doing, man?
Good. Real good. Just getting done. Christmas holiday hosting. Lot going on. Got a lot of good gifts. Yeah, it's good times. Good times with fam.
Yeah. I act like I wasn't there. But yeah, it was a really good time. Shout out to you and Steph for hosting. Steph being your missus. And yeah, just excited to get into this new episode and what 2024 has to bring.
Let's do it.
All right. Topics for today. Top 5 fictional sports characters. Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot to choose from.
There is a lot. There's quite a bit. I thought that this would be a good topic, getting away from some of the major talking points in sports right now. Have a little fun. Because, we all have our favorite sports movies. We all have iconic characters in our mind. So interested to see who you got on your list.
So I'd probably top 5 fictional athletes, and obviously they're all different sports. So you can't really be like, oh, this tennis player was better than this basketball player. But I just think of like well-rounded, hype, storyline. What I enjoy, that's kind of where.
Right. Now, it's a little.
We're not going to do any particular order, are we?
No particular order. And I should preface, it can't be an athlete that plays themselves in a movie. So completely made up. So
you're saying I can't pick Michael Jordan from Space Jam?
No Michael Jordan from Space Jam.
Come on. Why not? That ruins it all.
Can't pick John McEnroe from Big Daddy. No, that's not happening.
All right, so set some ground rules. Let's go through the ground rules.
Okay, it could be any movie, any sport in the movie, and has to be a completely made up character. So a character that was only in that movie.
Okay.
Who's your first one?
So first one, and this is what we're gonna do. So first one, number 1. Now we'll start with the bottom. So 5. 5. I'm gonna have to go with my man Maximus from the Gladiator.
Maximus from the Gladiator?
Exactly. And here's my pitch here.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember, back in the day, there wasn't really sports, so that was sports. Like fighting was sports back then.
Right.
My man would dominate him. And he had the storyline, like his wife and his kids, his family was killed and destroyed, and then he was turned into a slave, and then all of a sudden he became the gladiator, and no one really knew that he was actually the king. But then he just had the comeback story where he just started destroying people, and then he gets his lit backs. So
Okay.
5 for me would be Maximus, the gladiator.
Okay. You know what? I'm not mad at that one.
It's out of the box, I know. But it's still considered, back then that was sports. Sports was like fighting lions and cutting each other up to the death, even though someone's not surviving.
Okay.
It's like, I want to play this sport, but I may die today and never see life again.
Okay. Fair point. All right, who am I going to go with? Number 5. I'm gonna have to use the Google machine to find out the character name, but it was Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Running Man.
That's a little old school.
That is a little old school. For
Back in the day.
for those people that do not know, The Running Man was a movie in the 80s where Arnold Schwarzenegger was framed for a crime he didn't commit. And to get the word out there, reclaim his freedom, he had to go through this race where it was him against the techno gladiators. I'm about to look up what his name was. Running Man movie. 1987. That's how far back I'm going.
Go back in the day. Bro, back.
His name was Ben Richards.
Ooh, yeah. And there were some good characters in there. Like real life athletes in there.
Oh yeah.
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura was in there. Jim Brown was in there. Mm-hmm. We had Professor Tanaka, who was another wrestler.
Yeah.
He had to battle the likes of Buzzsaw and Dynamo. And Captain Freedom, aka Jesse Ventura. So yeah, that's my number 5 fictional movie athlete, Ben Richards, The Running Man.
Okay. I like it. That's a decent number. It's a little another
I thought so.
outside the box take there.
It was a grasp. It was a grasp. I tried to grab at it.
Okay. So it's back to me. So I'm gonna have to go with for 4 pick. This is one of those guys that we all wanted to be. Like we wanted to be this guy, right? And you know what? There's a lot of times why people become quarterbacks and they get motivated, and you kind of get an idea where I'm going there with football. But my number 4 pick is my man, Willie Beeman. Any given Sunday.
Willie Beeman.
Willie Beeman. Any given Sunday. My man Jamie Foxx playing the stud quarterback. Got all the girls. Did all the partying. He was a celebrity. That's it.
Okay. Here's a follow-up question. Obviously, he was an amalgamation of like different quarterbacks. So, which quarterback do you think you would compare him most like to? That either had played around the same time as the movie came out, or someone that plays now.
So this was what, 99?
It was 1999. Yes.
You put me on the spot. If I had to compare somebody, maybe, and this the name just comes to my head, Dante Culpepper.
Okay.
I don't know.
So he necessarily wasn't like running around, but he was slinging that thing.
He was slanging. Then he had the coach. Hey, come on. Al Pacino's coach.
Al Pacino's coach. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. That is a good one. I'm going to have to stay on football, and I'm going to go with my guy. My guy and your guy. He can play the one in the Matrix. He can play an assassin named John Wick. But I'm going all the way to the throwback sports movie, The Replacements, Mr. Shane Falco, also known as Keanu Reeves. That is a good one. My man was running and gunning. He knew he didn't have the whole season to like make a name for himself and be a starting quarterback forever. He was just in the moment. And he has one of the not best movie lines ever where he says, pain heals, chicks dig scars, and glory lasts forever.
That's a good one.
Mr. Shane Falco.
He was right outside the top 5.
He was outside your top 5? I mean, he had Gene Hackman as his coach too. Okay?
Yeah, no.
So let's
He didn't have a lot to deal. He didn't have a lot to work with. I know.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to work with. He was throwing to Orlando Jones, Mr. Butterfingers. My man was so fast he could be in bed and turn the light off before even the lights went out. But he couldn't catch a Twinkie if you threw it at him.
Couldn't catch a cold.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You said you put him outside your top 5. I need to know who's number 3 then.
So, number 3. So for me, he is the only reason I play this sport. He is the only reason I enjoy playing this sport. He is the actor has done so many things that you could think of. That you, and anyone else, he's probably one of the top actors of all time.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm rolling.
I have to go with, at number 3, Mr. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Only reason I play golf, only reason I want to have fun playing golf, I don't shoot like Happy Gilmore, but I wish I could.
Mm-hmm.
Because he drops bombs.
Yeah, you have that little hockey stick shape
bombs.
putter.
Get physical. He's the only person to put hands on Bob Barker ever any time. And he took down Shooter
McGavin, top movie villain of all time. Mr. Shooter McGavin.
That's a good solid one. We might have to think that for another day.
Yeah, we will. We will have to say that for another day. My number 3, believe it or not, is the same actor, Mr. Adam Sandler, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't golf. It was football.
Ooh.
Mr. Bobby Boucher.
What a boy!
My man put the licks on everybody. All he did, tap into his, whoever did him wrong, and just put that face on the opponent and tackled the dog crap out of them.
Mom said you was the devil. Football is the devil.
Football is the devil. Okay. Number 3, Bobby Boucher.
A solid one. Waterboy. That's a solid one.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay. All right. So number 2 for me. This is probably one of the greatest sports movies of all time. Like it's up there. If it's not in your top 3, might have to have a conversation of sports movies of all time. But my number 2 is Rocky Balboa.
Whoo, okay. You got Rocky at number 2.
Italian.
You got Rocky at number 2. Okay.
My man's got a statue in Philadelphia.
Yep. Yes, he does.
Rocky. Just saying.
All right. Follow-up question. Since you did say Rocky, which Rocky film is the greatest in your opinion?
Which Rocky is the greatest? I'd have to say the one that fought for his country and took down Mother Russia.
Number 4. Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is a damn near perfect sports movie in my opinion, because you already have the champ. He's already a champ. He already won. Mm-hmm. But how do you take it up a step higher? You gotta get revenge for your friend who died in the ring.
Yes. And take down Mother Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would have to go with Rocky 3. But I might explain. I'll explain that to you. I'll explain that to you. But first, I'm gonna give you my second choice for fictional sports character. I'm gonna go with Mr. Emilio Estevez from a little movie called Mighty Ducks. Not only was Gordon Bombay one of the greatest hockey talents to come out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. But he led his team of misfit children to play against the Dallas Stars, who were the champions amongst Pee Wee hockey players at that time. And he even took it so far to win Olympic gold in Mighty Ducks 2. We're going to go with Mr. Gordon Bombay.
The Flying V.
Flying V.
I got you. Okay. That's a solid one. Because Mighty Ducks is a classic right there. That's a classic.
Definitely a classic.
So, we're at number 1, right?
Number 1.
So, my number 1 fictional character. Because you said the rule is he didn't play himself.
No.
But this is and I know if I was a betting man, I'd bet it. This is the main reason you, myself, or any other New York basketball player that grew up with in our age is the only reason we play basketball is because of my man, Jesus.
Okay, we go on Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. He got game. Anyone that grew up in our era, he's the reason y'all play basketball.
Okay.
Okay. He is the reason. Okay. He's the reason we wear Jordans. He is the reason that we want to play basketball, pick up basketball.
Well, the reason we wear Jordans is because of Jordan, but
I know. I'm just saying. I'm stretching here. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm pitching my number 1. Okay.
Okay.
He's the reason. And you know what I mean? Like, he's the man. You can't name another fictional basketball player that is better.
Nah, basketball movies are tough because you have to get actual basketball players if you want to like legit make it look like real. You know, unless you're gonna do like Mike and have like Lil Bow Wow in like some.
He would give Lil Bow Wow. He would give Bow Wow 70. All right. All right.
Drop a 70 piece.
His dad is by far, in my opinion, gonna go down as one of the greatest actors of all time, Mr. Denzel.
Okay. Fair. Okay. And not gonna lie, his girl in the movie was a young Miss Rosario Dawson as well, so it's top.
And then my man got to go on the college tour.
The college tour was crazy. It's not made for.
Crazy.
that's a little NC-17.
That's it. It's not P. It's rated R. Okay.
Not for children. Not for children.
Not for children.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. So my number 1 is Mr. Sylvester Stallone as Rocky. However, we're not going Rocky 4. We're going Rocky 3. Because he had Mr. Badass himself from the A-Team, Mr. T, playing Clubber Lang. My man got clobbered, had to find it within himself. Ended up going to his arch rival to learn the ways of footwork.
Mr. Carl Weathers.
Mr. Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Apollo Creed. When he was telling him tomorrow, nah, we'll do it tomorrow. He said, what's the matter with you? There is no tomorrow. Motivation.
Okay.
So I think we got a decent list here. We don't have like. All right.
Recap. Maximus.
Yep.
The Gladiator.
Yeah.
Willie Beeman.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
Rocky Balboa.
Yep.
And then Jesus himself.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. Okay, I got myself. I have uh, Ben Richards, the running man. Followed. That is a solid one. That's a pretty solid one.
So that's the throwback. I think you get the trophy for the best throwback.
I got the trophy
That's
for the best throwback. Who else did I say? I said Mr. Shane Falco.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, very good movie. Very underrated. The Water Boy, Bobby Boucher. Followed by, damn, forget my own list. Who's number 4? How did I forget my own list?
Mighty Ducks.
Gordon Bombay, Mighty Ducks, and then number 1 for me, Rocky from Rocky 3. So we need to preface: your Rocky is Rocky 4. My Rocky is Rocky 3.
Well, you did a follow-up question, but in general, Rocky is number 1. Is number 2. But if we had to pick a certain Rocky, picking Rocky that trained in the tundra of Russia, Mother Russia, and then took down the steroid king himself, the robot, the machine, Ivan Drago. Just saying. Mm-hmm. I'd take Drago over Clubber Lang any day. And he killed Apollo. What's up?
Okay.
But Rocky had to take him down.
Okay. Well, I mean, that needs to go into our movie villains conversation, if that's the case.
I'm just saying. Apollo was dead. I mean, because of Mr. Ivan Drago.
Mm-hmm.
Which then he got taken down by Mr. Rocky Balboa. Just saying.
Okay. I like this list. I like these lists that we got here. Solid.
They're solid lists. Like I said, I'll give you the throwback winner. That Running Man. Classic. That's classic.
Running Man is classic. I don't know. We probably missed a whole bunch of them. If anyone cares to leave in the comments.
Would you honorable mentions here?
I don't know. Do we have honorable mentions?
I said, what's his name? He was outside my top 5.
Oh, Shane Falco?
Yeah, he was outside my top 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, cutting out like actual athletes in movies, kind of like, because obviously you would say LeBron or like Jordan or somebody.
Well, if I had to do an honorable mention, if I had to pick one honorable mention, I'd probably go with someone that we didn't name. And say Ricky the Wild Thing Ball.
Sandlot. Oh, Ricky Vaughn. Major League. I thought you were gonna go. You were gonna go Ricky the Jet Rodriguez from Sandlot.
That's a good one, but nah, Vaughn.
Rick the Wild Thing Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. He had to put the glasses on.
Throw that heater. All right. Good stuff. Solid list. Transition. Second topic.
Talk.
You see what Randy Moss said?
I did.
Mount Rushmore of wide receivers.
Well, who was his Mount Rushmore?
So, his Mount Rushmore. He's got, in no particular order, himself, obviously, Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice, and one Mr. Calvin Johnson. Megatron.
And just FYI, there's a particular order because there was an interview where he said he's the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Yeah, obviously. But he also, like, I'm assuming he put himself first on that list. So I mean, if you're just going by the order in which I saw his list, it's him, then To, then Jerry Rice, then Megatron.
Okay.
What do you think about?
Solid four.
It is a solid four. It leaves off a lot of guys that we talk about as being like top wide receivers. No Chris Carter, no Tim Brown,
Chris Carter.
no
Larry Fitzgerald.
no Larry Fitzgerald.
There's a lot. There's a lot of this.
No Antonio Brown.
I'm not mad at this stuff. I'm not mad at it.
Nah. And no Calvin Johnson, or no, not Calvin Johnson, Chad Ochocinco. I mean, the only thing, like, with this particular list, which I think should separate Randy from Jerry, is that Jerry got those championships, man. And he had the most receiving yards in a season when he retired. And I think he has the most receiving yards, period, for a career. So it's hard to put anybody over Jerry.
Statistically, there is no receiver that is better than Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no receiver that is better than Jerry Rice if we were literally going straight statistics.
Straight numbers.
Straight numbers.
Mm-mm.
He has 197 receiving touchdowns. He has over 22,000 receiving yards, over 1,500 receptions. And to your point, he's in the Hall of Fame, 3 championships, 13 Pro Bowls, 11 All-Pros. He's Offensive Player of the Year. He's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Plain and simple. If you weren't going to say like a quarterback with like championships, it's Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking like skills wise and like just like talent alone, I would probably put the other 3 over Jerry Rice.
As the greatest receivers of all time?
If we're just talking about like physical talent. Because how big was Jerry? Jerry wasn't a big receiver. He was like what, like 6 foot, 6'2" maybe.
Jerry Rice is, in my mind, the greatest receiver.
Oh yeah.
And statistics.
Okay.
And Jerry Rice was 6'2".
Okay. So like
he could run every route. He could run every route in the tree. Hands for days. What else do you want?
I mean, Randy and T.O. were like the physical specimens at wide receiver. Like they're both big, tall, run fast. I mean, Randy was just outrunning every single person on the field, just throwing up 9 routes, just throw his hand up.
Crazy. Once the hand went up, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and I would say like, as far as like physical ability, like they're both jumping higher than Jerry Rice. They're both running faster than Jerry Rice.
I would say T.O. is the closest comparison, like stature and everything, to Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Like T.O. can run every route. He got hands. He's stronger than Jerry.
Yeah.
Moss, yeah, he's running by you.
Yeah.
Throw it up.
And he's going to leap over you.
He's not that fast. Boy, he's running by you.
Yeah. And then he's just going to leap over top.
Yeah. Yeah, you get Moss.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, in my opinion, and Randy's one of my favorite players of all time, yeah, I don't think he can run the route tree like Jerry Rice.
Yeah. And let's not forget my man Calvin, because he was definitely also put on this list. I would have to say, in the modern football era, like at least like the 20 teens, he's like the closest thing to like a T.O. or a Randy Moss that we've seen. Just like a freak of nature that was like able to catch the ball over everybody, out muscle everybody. just so happened he got he got drafted to the Lions. You know.
And he had the 2,000-yard season.
Mm-hmm.
But what's tough? See here's what's tough. And for me, because we're talking Mount Rushmore, and there's only 4 that could fit on this list.
Mm-hmm.
There might be an argument for me to say Larry Fitzgerald's on there over Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, I would probably put him there. Only because he does have he has Super Bowl appearances. He doesn't have a championship, but for like consistency at wide receiver, like you don't get more consistent than Larry Johnson.
Like
Still had the physical attributes and everything, but
my man has, I think he has like 19 drops or something like that ever in his career.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Nobody's. My man has dropped the ball 19 times ever.
In like 15 seasons.
He played 16, 17 seasons?
Yeah.
What are we talking about
here? Yeah.
He has almost 1,500 catches with 19 drops.
That's crazy. My man never dropped the ball. Never.
Never dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, he doesn't have the Super Bowl. He has the Pro Bowl accolades. He was an All-Pro one time, but like he's just like a. He reminds me of like him and Chris Carter in the same room. Like they just catch the ball, hands. But Larry's up there because obviously statistic-wise, 17,000 yards, 121 touchdowns, almost 1,500 receptions, and he didn't drop. Again, 19 drops ever in his career.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue. What about some of the other guys that definitely didn't even probably get mentioned? The Chris Carters, the Tim Browns.
I think, yeah, I believe Chris Carter helped groom Randy into Brady early in his career when they were in Minnesota together. I think he taught Randy how to be a pro because Randy went through so much in college.
Yeah.
Marshall. And he was just rough around the edges, and I think Chris Carter helped him. But I wouldn't take Chris Carter over any of the guys you mentioned so far.
Okay.
You also got like Marvin Harrison.
Got left off.
Stud.
Torrey Holt.
Like Marvin Harrison just consistently delivered.
Yep.
And obviously he had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But.
Yeah. How about a more recent guy? What's his name? Mike Evans.
He's not. I would say he's top 5 receivers currently, which a lot of people don't have him in his top 5. But for him, like if you go through the names of quarterbacks that have been throwing him the ball his career, and he's averaged 1,000 yards every single year.
Yep. Like
there's an argument there. Like when he eventually retires, I'd look at statistic wise.
See where he's
What's
at.
Up?
Yeah. Another one we don't talk about is DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm not a big fan of D-Hop.
No?
I don't know why. It's not.
I mean, he suffers from the same thing that.
I don't think he'll on Mike Evans level.
I think he suffers from the same thing Mike Evans had to deal with, like just inconsistent quarterback play. But I don't know. He's another one that's been putting up numbers for a long time. I don't know. I think this list.
Mike Evans been in the league since 2014. He's hit 1,000 yards every season.
Yep. And he has a Super Bowl championship, and he's been the main receiver on every team that he's played for, which I think is just the Bucs.
Like, quarterbacks have been throwing him the ball. Recently, you got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Which he's making Baker look like a stud.
Yeah. Tom Brady.
You had your man.
The GOAT, Mr. Seven Rings.
W.
Mr. Seven Rings.
Mr. He's in New Orleans right now.
Oh, Jameis.
Jameis. Eating the W.
Yeah.
Then he had the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, every quarterback he's had, he's gone for 1,000.
Yeah. Just goes to show you how good he is. So I think there's an argument there, but like you said, we're gonna have to like go back once he's like done playing to see.
And you know what? I actually, now I'm looking at it. Look, here's the quarterbacks that Mike Evans has that have thrown Mike Evans the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got there, Mike Glennon, trash,
Garbage.
Josh McCown, the veteran, he played for like 25 teams.
Also trash.
Yeah. Then your man, eat the dub, Jamison Winston.
Eat the dub. Remains to be seen, but so far it's been pretty trash.
He's a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
He's an NFL backup quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick, another journeyman that played for every team.
The beard, the Fitzmagic that he can only turn on every other game.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert.
Bland trash.
Bland trash.
Tom Brady, the GOAT.
The GOAT, but the Patriots are still trash.
Yeah, the Patriots can suck it. And then recently, Baker Mayfield, which he's making Baker look like an animal.
Baker has been trash up until this point. He had one good year with the Browns, and now he's playing well now. But
yeah, he's playing now because he got Mike Evans.
Yeah.
The other day, last week he had like almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yep, something like that.
He's looking like a stud because he's got Mike Evans.
They started off slow too, so and her division is pretty difficult.
And you mentioned D-Hop,
D-Hop had David Carr for like a big part of his career. And David Carr, I think, has like the most sacks taken by a quarterback in a given period of time.
Like, look at these. Like, I did the comparison here.
Uh-huh.
D-Hop has played 8 more games.
So half a
than
season.
Mike Evans.
Yeah.
He has 1,000 more receiving yards.
Uh-huh.
He has about a little bit less than 200 receptions more than Mike Evans. Mike Evans has almost 20 more touchdowns. And Mike Evans has championship.
Yeah.
But Mike Evans also has hit 1,000 yards every season since he's been in the
Mm-hmm.
Where D-Hop obviously hasn't done that. And just looking at he had a season where did he play that whole season? Let's see. 10 games. Well, he played 10 games. He had 572 receiving yards.
Okay.
So 5 seasons he didn't break it out. But 4 seasons he had over 110 catches.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 seasons.
He was killing it. But yeah, a lot of receivers have like that type of career where it's like they start out not doing a lot and then like maybe 3 or 4 straight seasons they beasts.
So yeah, there's a lot of receivers, man. And to be on that Mount Rushmore, you gotta have Jerry Rice because again, that's my GOAT. Statistically, no receivers touching him. Randy Moss, just freak talent. Like, there's no receiver that is taking the top off like him and also jumping over you and mossing you. T.O. is the closest thing in my mind to Jerry Rice. Like, talent-wise and physicality and route running and all that and hands. And then Megatron was basically Randy Moss and T.O. combines because he was the stature and he had the 2,000-yard season and his quarterback Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I had to pick four and live by it would be the same. It'd be that same four. If I had to like think about it and kind of like dissect,
Would you swap out Megatron? It sounds like you were thinking about it.
He would be the only one I would even fathom like swapping out. And if I had to swap him out, it probably would be Larry Fitzgerald. Like
Larry Fitz for Calvin Johnson.
yeah, like that would have to be it. If I had to pick somebody. Now again, if I'm just straight gut, I'd have the same Mount Rushmore, which I think majority of the country would too. Just saying.
Okay. I'm not mad at the list, but hey, hot takes here on Feast or Famine. Mm-hmm. So now it's time. We've come to the segment that we all know and love. It's a little bit of feast, and a little bit of famine.
Yeah, so this is going to be our ending segments in all our shows where essentially I'm going to go through a list and we're going to talk about it. Are you feasting on it? Like, are you with it? Or are you famine? Like, I don't want no parts of it.
Nothing.
So, let's go. Ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Would you rather be a mascot for a day or drive a Zamboni?
So be a team mascot for a day with
mascot for a day
with the whole outfit or drive a Zamboni.
Yeah.
I'm going feast on Zamboni. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm whipping it around. I'm driving on the ice. I'm honking the horn. Cause like the mascot costume is usually gonna be like a big furry thing that you're gonna have to keep on for like 3 hours.
Like if it's like in Florida or something.
Nah, if I'm in Alabama in the middle of the summertime, like nah, I'm not doing that. That's famine right there. Feasting on the Zamboni, famine on the on the mascot.
Feasting on the Zamboni. All right, here's a good one. Would you rather always lose in the championship or never make the playoffs? That's a good one.
Nah, if you never make the playoffs, they come up with like stats for that, and they'll show them during every game. They'll be like, "Yo, the Jets haven't made the playoffs since 2010, it's longest active streak in the NFL." Like, nah, fuck out of here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'll go because at least in the championship is like you're always making the championship game, which means you're always one of the best top 2-3 teams in whatever the conference you're in or whichever sport you're in. So I'm gonna go with feast on always making it to the championship game, famine on never making the playoffs. You're on mute.
I agree. I'm the same feast or famine. Even though it sucks because if you're not first, you're last. But yeah, I'd rather just make it to.
Yo, even when you win a game, ESPN is gonna come up with one of the stupid statistics. Oh, this team hasn't made a postseason since before Bill Clinton was president. Like, dog, why are you putting all my information out there? Like the last time the Raiders went to the playoffs was Obama's inauguration. Like nobody wants to hear that. Terrible. Looks like he's frozen. I hate when this happens. The internet's or interneting. Pause for a moment and we will deal with technical difficulties. Yeah, you got frozen for like 2 seconds. Well, a little more
All
than
right,
2 seconds,
we
like
good?
30 seconds. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Ah,
I can cut all of that out with the magic of editing.
nice. All right. Would you rather lose on television or win when no one's watching?
Um, I mean, eventually they're gonna win. They're gonna see it, right? Because like, if you win and no one's watching, your record's still gonna indicate that you're winning games.
But no one's watching.
I mean, eventually they're gonna watch us. If we make it all the way to the Super Bowl, but nobody watched our games, we're still in the Super Bowl.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, true. Um, so it's never win a game or only win when no one's watching. Yeah, give me the W. It'll be me and my cats or whoever's in the room, and then
Okay.
we'll
Whoever's watching.
we'll rack up that win total.
Cockroaches.
Yep,
Cockroaches at lunch.
yep. Church League champions, 5 years running.
All right, I got a good one. This kind of like talks about like the whole LeBron versus Jordan GOAT conversation.
Oh man, here we
Would you
go.
rather own the records for most points or most championships?
I mean, I would have to go most points because just look at like previously who had both of those records. Well, Bill Russell has the record for most championships, and Kareem had the record for most points. But who was on the Mount Rushmore of players?
Who's the GOAT?
Yeah, the GOAT. Kareem is in that conversation. Bill Russell isn't.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
But the GOAT is Michael Jordan. So
He's some
listen,
people's
I'm
GOAT.
feasting on the championships.
He,
I'm feasting on the
you're
championships.
you're feasting
What matters most.
you're feasting on being the biggest winner ever versus scoring the most points ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Saying.
I'd go
All right.
Famine on the championships.
Famine on the championships.
Mm-hmm.
First one, we disagree. All right. Uh, would you rather coach a college kids or a professional team?
So coach kids in college or a professional team.
Yep.
I mean, the way that some of these leagues are going is like you're getting mostly college kids anyway, especially since they get drafted at 19. So some leagues earlier. Uh
In the NFL, you don't.
yeah, NFL you don't.
Football, you do not.
Football
you have to play a certain number of
football you do not. You might get a 20-year-old maybe. Most of the time you're getting like young 20s. I might have to go college on this one because, like, you look at some of these college coaches, they've been coaching for decades, forever.
years.
And then you look at like NFL. If you have one bad season, if you're in the wrong organization and you have one bad season, you're unemployed the next season. You know what I mean?
It's like that in any sport. Basketball, baseball.
Yeah, for sure. Versus like college, you got that contract. You know, they keep you there. And if you win just a little bit, you're like, they build a statue for you, basically.
Okay. Yeah, that's essentially why I'm feasting on coaching college.
Feast on college.
Like you're guaranteed. So like if you're coach, hey, let's use basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like there's a potential that you could have the same people you got recruited for up to 4 years.
Yep.
Where in football or in NBA, like you have a bad season, it's a wrap.
Free agency, you lose
Fired.
guys. Yep, fired.
Lose guys at free agency, and then I think that like ego wise, I'd rather deal with like kids than like rich adults.
Yeah, exactly. Like kids, they're still worried about having fun and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
doing
that's what I'm saying.
kid stuff. So
But I'm not trying to be like dudes driving Mercedes going 200 miles per hour, killing people like Henry Ruggs in the NFL, or
no, not at all.
out in the club drinking before a game. Like I'm not trying to deal with all that.
No, not at all.
I got time for that.
I don't need like Zion having P stars putting my business out there,
Yeah,
and having to deal with that, or like the jaw situation.
no, don't even get me started on John.
Yeah,
Dumps and then starts shooting bullets into the audience.
come on, man.
Oh,
Or even this one dude. You heard about Josh Giddey on the Thunder?
you mean Josh Kiddey?
Yes, Josh Giddey. Exactly. My thing is like somebody's dad was like, "Yo, shut the hell up. He's about to be in the NBA and
Get paid.
get paid off." That thing has conspiracy written all over it.
That thing has conspiracy and white privilege all over it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because if his name was Josh Johnson, we wouldn't even be talking about this. He would have already been suspended.
If his name was John Moran, he got suspended because he flashed a gun on Instagram, which had nothing to do with his play on the court. But Josh Giddey got caught videos of him sleeping with an underage girl. But he's still playing.
Not sleeping, but allegedly
having sexual relations with a kid, a minor.
Mm-hmm.
But he still got to play.
Right.
There wasn't like a, hey, discipline because this is going to impact the NBA brand. No.
Mm-hmm. He's also not one of the best players in the league, though.
I get that.
When you're one of the faces of an organization, not only faces of an organization, faces of the sport that you play, because that's what they're pushing Ja as, like one of the faces of the league. Him, Luka, Tatum, all these guys, the younger guys. Yeah, you got to move different. You can't have nothing. You can't have any type of discrepancies in your character.
Yeah, I get it. Still a little fishy.
It is. It is. What's up? You got one more?
That was 5. That's all I got.
That was 5? Those were good. I like that. I like that a lot.
Jets win tonight, or Browns, the Joe Flacco led team win?
Oh man,
the Browns were favored by 7.5. Just FYI.
I got zero faith in Trevor Siemian. I'm sorry, zero whatsoever.
Famine on Trevor Siemian.
Feast or famine on Trevor Siemian. Famine. All famine. All famine. All famine. Yeah, I'm still like a little, annoyed that we got all these primetime games and nothing really to like show for it. Dog, we had 5 primetime games this year. Like, and this is the 5th one. Like, come on. Normally as a Jets fan, when our season is like in the toilet, I can just like not watch the games. But like, it feels like all of our games are nationally televised this season, which just makes it like
That was the plan because you had Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So
this NFL season, the storylines have been the Jets and Taylor Swift. That's honestly what it feels like.
Yeah. Guess what? Fuck the Chiefs.
My man's got the Raiders Nation.
Fuck the Chiefs. Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Filthy animals.
Mm-hmm. That's what we got. Woo, let's go. Let's go. All right. Think that was good, man. Episode 5 in the books.
So until next time,
I'm the real Chris Mack.
cheat it out.
We out of here.